His name is Polly. Polly Poo. Ooh. Alright. This is his channel. See what he do.
Oh, we're going to the car boot. Woo! On foot. It's only 20 miles from where I live. Whew, I'm knocked. Alright. Right, well, that was a pretty interesting car boot. It's not one I've ever been to. I wouldn't say it was massive, but it was, I would say there was maybe, 30 cars there maybe? So here's what we picked up. We got the Essential Frankenstein, the Monster, the Myth, the Movies book. So that was 50p. So I picked that up. Thought that'd be pretty cool to, do with what I want to do with. I know there's a few of my friends are into Frankenstein, so that might end up heading that way type of style, if you know what I mean. Oh, look at that. Frankenhooker. Woo! Excellent. So there's the Frankenstein book, and then there was somebody else who was selling like items for 50p each. So I got these Top Trumps Cars 2 Top Trumps, this Simpsons game, but as I was picking stuff up, they were like, oh, it's 3 for £1. So I was like, get in. And I got Looper. Wow. And it's even got a lenticular box look. So you got Bruce Willis and then some guy with a robotic penis. So 50 pence, I've checked them out. They both like clean discs and stuff. So for £1 for them 3, I was rather chuffed with that. And then on to the toys. So soft toys, I guess, first. So I got this big, kind of big Postman Pat for the youngest. He likes Postman Pat, so I picked him up. He was only 50p. So he was out of the stot with that. And then there was this other seller who they had quite a lot of toys, but a lot of the stuff wasn't great. It was fairly junkers and stuff, or kind of just not very desirable. So I managed to pick up some of the not desirable stuff, like you do. But what I did pick up for them was this David Beckham kind of Action Man style figure. You might remember them from the sort of mid to late 90s. And there was also this Peter Schmeichel as well. Schmeichel. Got quite small hands for a goalkeeper. So there was them two. And there was some wrestlers as well. So I got this Scott Steiner, which this one is the Superman sort of variant version. So I don't have that one. So that was really cool. And this Shane O'Mac with the Degenerate X-Puck. Kind of doesn't really look anything like Shane O'Mac, but not the point. I don't have that one, so that was also very good. And this Sting, who I don't have. Well, I have this figure, but I don't have the version with the white boots. Randomly, kind of obscurely, like, another figure just for white boots, but that's just how it goes, guys. You know the score. And then I picked up this Extreme Ghostbusters. Now, I believe this guy, God, is it Dylan or something like that? Hey man, I'm Dylan. So there was him there, and there was this other guy who's kind of the world's most unhappiest man in the world. Look at that. Ooh, I hate ghosts. He was there, and I kind of went back later on to the stall, and I saw this guy, and I was like, hold on, haven't I already bought him? And I was like, oh no, it's a different version. But as well, which is really cool, which I didn't realise at the time either, is that they've got different heads. So that one's a miserable one, and that one's the kind of happier one. And then, because these were on like a buy so many for so much, I just grabbed a handful of these G.I. Joe Leonard Corpse, or Leonard, or whatever you want to call them. It says it on his chest, so actually it just says Corpse. So there's them. This is kind of a Cobra Commander wannabe, and this other guy. So tossed all them in, got that, all them, the figures there, and this Darth Maul watch, which this one's not the metal one that I've already got. This is a plastic one, but it comes in this pretty interesting lightsaber case. I got all them for £2.50, so I thought that was a pretty good little bargain there. Picked up this Monster Munch, cheesy Monster Munch. I don't even remember them doing a cheesy flavoured Monster Munch. That's all that about. A Monster cheese. Tasty. That was about 8 pence. This Minotaur from, I believe it's Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, is it? That one? Possibly. And he was 50p, so I thought 50p for that wasn't too bad. It was early doors and there wasn't much hanging about, so I was getting desperate. Quick, get a Minotaur in the bag. And a Despicable Me. This is one that I need to help completely set. So there was him and this Apu. And Apu's a bit bashed up but they were 50p for both of them. So that was not bad, 25 pence each. And then this one I was really chuffed to find. This, not necessarily this thing, but it was the Captain America helicopter. And that was 20p. But the person who was selling that also had this Joker, which was 20p as well. So that's pretty decent, from the Dark Knight Returns, I believe. Is it the Dark Knight Returns, the second one? Something like that. But they also had this Century Marvel Universe figure for 20p. And this absolutely gorgeous Dark Phoenix Jean Grey. Look at that. Check that out. 20 pence. Couldn't believe it. So that was all of that stuff. And then this was my biggest purchase of the day. So I'll just Polly Smash. Move all this to one side and then tip the bag out. There we go. So I seen there was a guy when I walked in and he had a kind of, how would you describe it? Like a plate, I guess, with some figures in there. He had like Lewis from RoboCop, he had Captain Scarlet and an Action Force figure, and he was like, oh, £3 for them. And I was like, really? It's a bit expensive, that. And he had a couple of Star Wars figures, and I didn't even ask what he wanted for them, because I already had them anyway. So as I went round, I seen another person selling some Star Wars figures, so I was like, vintage Star Wars figures, that's got my name all over it. So I went over, and they had the Gamorrean Guard, the Tusker Raider, which is pretty cool, all army builders. So you know me, I'm building my armies up. Royal Guard, Emperor's Royal Guard, and this lovely, I love the weather beaten ones, and I do like the fact that this kind of got some kind of pink kind of thing on as well, so you can be the sunburnt. That's what he's got. There we go, a bit further away so you can see the colour discoloration. He's got sunburnt shoulder. I didn't put my aftersun on my shoulder. So there was him, and then the other ones I do have was this Chewbacca, which is absolutely immaculate. I can't believe that's a proper vintage one, because his arms and stuff are stiff as out. There was a Klaatu. There was a Hoth Han Solo. There was a couple of Ewoks. There you go, the same one obviously, but and their hats, or hoods, whatever you want to call them. There was a Lando Calrissian in his Skiff Guard uniform, which again, this guy's in pretty decent nick too. In fact, they're all in pretty good condition, apart from the Stormtrooper. And she wanted £10, which there's 10 figures there, so I thought, well, you know, I would pay £1 each for like the ones, the army builders and stuff, but I wasn't really keen on paying like another £6 for them. Especially when you see people getting like really great bargains of like, look, I got 50 Star Wars figures for £10 and stuff, and I'm kind of like, I got 10. But she did have with them this Han Solo, which is an absolutely amazing Han Solo. This is from the Thingy Force ones after the Power of the Force, so it's a really nice Han that. I do have them in the pack, so I'm pretty chuffed to pick one up out of the pack. And then I guess this person must have liked Han Solo, because here he is in his duffel coat, and here he is from the Power of the Force with the sort of erosion of the paint on the hand there. Han Solo is pretty cool, yeah, I'll give you that. And then Mace Windu, who's kind of stood on a kid plug or something. He's and he does have kind of broken arm, twisty action going on as well. So maybe he's broke his arm and he's like, oh, my arm, oh, it's hanging off. And then, speaking of hanging off, he's a clone trooper with no hands. That's kind of unfortunate, but you could kind of just make him dead somewhere. Like, he was trying to disarm a bomb and he now has no hands. Which often happens to people who disarm bombs, apparently. And this fantastic Yoda, this random cape, I believe came with Luke Skywalker. Could kind of make them have Jedi invisible power. And this Watto with no wings. So, reminds us of that joke. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. So yeah, so that was 10 quid for all them. And she wouldn't budge. The Polly Poo Poo charm, I must have left it at home. Because it was 10 quid and that was it. So I kind of walked away, walked around for a bit and thought, you know what? I'm going to go and get them. So that's me car boot haul. So absolutely chuffed with all that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all later on.